Welcome to the podcast intro.
Yay!
The part of the intro where we intro the intro. Podcast intro.
It would not be a podcast without this part of it, I feel like.
I agree with you.
This
Nikki.
adds a lot to it.
It's a value.
How would you even know?
It's a value add. Today in the podcast, what do you got? We talk Groundhog Day, getting rich. I have a great idea for getting rich. Nikki seems a little not completely on board, but it's
I don't mind listening to your ideas. I just don't know if this is the right one yet. It hasn't sparked any money joy.
Oh. It will. The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile Tesla
gets pulled over. County law.
County law
Gets involved.
Mortal Kombat. Larval sacks. Chicken McGriddles.
Just don't put that all in the same. Like, these are different stories.
They are. Toy Story in real life.
That's actually really cool. It's worth checking out once you hear about it.
And that's all I got.
Okay, it's good stuff.
Woo!
Good stuff.
Come on. Come on.
It's not just like, whatever works because it's Wednesday. It's whatever works Wednesday.
It's
our best.
It's winning Wednesday.
It's winning Wednesday.
Winning Wednesday.
We'll see what you guys think when you get through the podcast.
Yeah, so it's a win for all of us.
Don't forget to check out RadioU Riot on our Facebook page and find us on our YouTube channel. You should be following us there. Say hello or text us anytime you want to at 877-2RadioU. Even if we're not in the studio, just put your name and that you're a podcast listener and say hello.
All right. We look forward to hearing from you.
All right. Have a great day.
It's the Riot.
One day, a heroic time traveler will go back in time to make sure none of this ever happens. Until then, it's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
I realized this morning something that I probably knew in the back of my mind somewhere, but I completely forgot. And that is this Sunday is Groundhog Day.
It is. You're right. Well, it's also the Super Bowl, so, it's a big day, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, that's what bothers me is that this year the Groundhog is being completely overshadowed by the Super Bowl.
Good one, by the way.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What do you do? Like, what sort of party do we have?
Well, you have a
Are we
Groundhog
springing
Bowl
into
party.
the Super Bowl?
We'll find out.
Or are we falling back because we're exhausted the next day?
Depending on where you live, you think this hasn't been much of a winter or you think it's been a terrible winter.
Yeah.
That's something that I do love when we get into discussions around various climate change, et cetera, is some people will be like, it's climate change because it's hot. No, it's because it's so cold. And depending on where you live, one of those is one of your go-tos.
Yeah, one of your answers.
Now, of course, they would say it's extremes and not et cetera, but I just know, like, in my neighborhood, no, not much.
Balmy.
But like, go a couple states over, and they're like, we haven't seen the sun or the grass in 100 years.
What is this daytime thing you talk about?
We're buried in it.
Really depends on where you're at.
Yeah, it does. So I don't know where you are, but my prediction is I think that we're in for 6 more weeks of winter.
You think that's what'll happen?
I don't think we're going to have an early spring this year.
Okay, now remember, I think the Super Bowl predictions are the bigger ones for the day, so you got to make 2 calls on Sunday.
Well, think about this. Do these Super Bowl predictions, do they really change your life? Unless you're into sports betting, no.
Does the Groundhog really change your life?
Yes.
It does?
Weather, Nikki?
That's how we get our weather.
Weather changes things.
That's true. It changes the Groundhog. We thought we knew him.
You know what, Nikki? Can we please not get into blaming the messenger? Can we please not get into blaming the messenger?
He has had such an attitude since last year.
Hey, this guy, it's not his fault. All right? Everybody wants to blame the weather.
I think he took bribes. What?
You know what? The fact that you would besmirch the character of Punxsutawney Phil makes me sick to my stomach.
Well, he makes me sick.
Things are never as bad as they seem, except when it comes to the Riot. Then, they're worse. They're always worse. It's the Riot on Radio U.
Nikki and I have just stumbled upon the way to get rich. We just figured it out.
And that would be?
Well, I'll tell you. We've been reading about the coronavirus off air, and I don't feel qualified to give you the actual news about it, but one of the things that has emerged in all of this coverage is what Nikki used a phrase that I've heard, and that is Backalley meat market. And you're like, what is that? It's literally a place like that's not like the legit market, and you just go back there and buy meat. That And in different countries, people do that. Whereas for me, I'm like, I don't even know if that grocery store should be selling me meat.
Different market, different style.
Different world in which we live, right? One of the things that we've discovered is people eat bat. What? I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know people ate bat.
But again, it's different areas, different, and it's not, that became they were saying like a wealthy thing.
Well, boom, Nikki, that is how you and I are going to start making our money. We are going to start taking things, weird things, and we are going to turn them into delicacies. We're also going to lie to people about their healing powers, and we're going to sell them.
Well, what are we going to use, though? We don't have anything, or at least we don't make anything.
Well, okay, make anything.
I mean, we have the Oreos left over.
They have eyes, but they do not see.
I mean, I don't know what we're supposed to do.
Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're actually going to sell our brand new, have you heard about our straight from farm grass dirt?
No. What about your cheese dip you used to make? Can you bring that back?
Healing powers. It has healing powers.
Put your hand in the cheese dip.
Yeah, you just let it soak for 5 to 10 minutes, and then you pull it out. And then, and this is very important, you have to lick all of the cheese off. And if you don't, don't.
It went from weird to just really weird.
No, what? Oh, my gosh.
No, I know. You're like, it's healing. No. Your cheese dip, no.
Hey, Nikki, you know that you've been losing your hair. If you eat this bat meat,
it'll take
your
care
hair
of
will
everything.
grow back.
Oh, they'll tell you usually around those sort of health items that anything will work.
It's always hair loss and have a baby. Like those are the two things. So I mean, if I tell people that like, hey, we fed our farm dirt grass product to somebody and they immediately had children. They had 20 children. They went to sleep and then woke up. Oh, they had all these. Boom. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I don't know if we still have some work on this. I don't know if maybe your prize-winning cheese dip will be the thing that will make us the most money, but I don't know what else we have.
Nikki, I feel like you're very skeptical of my idea. Have you heard of Goop?
Yeah, okay, then.
That's exactly what it is. So what I'm saying is that you and I just need to find our corner on the market, and we need to start catering to the super rich. We're like, yeah, you feel good now, but are you familiar with ultra wellness?
Oh my gosh, ultra wellness.
Ultra wellness. And it's a little bit more.
I want to be ultra.
Don't you want to be ultra well?
Not just wellness, but you want the most.
And after 6 months in our program, we'll be ready to introduce you to ultra mega wellness.
That's a different price bracket. Yeah. You got to work your way into that one.
You can't just go straight to that. You got to work your way into it.
That's an exclusive group, and not everybody can make it in there.
Oh, yeah. Didn't you just feel that part of you that's like, oh, I want to be part?
Even though now you're just like, I don't even need to go to the doctor. I'm fine. I have the cheese dip.
Come on. Nikki, I'm telling you, it's going to have levels.
Yeah.
It's going to be huge.
I guess then let's not throw this away. And then the first thing that we get that we really feel like we can market, then maybe we work towards that.
I mean, this was just an idea I just had. So like we're going to flesh it out a little bit. But I'll tell you what.
We got stuff.
They say don't cash the check yet, but we're going to be rich. It's going to happen.
I'm expecting us to not get any checks.
Don't worry, we will. I mean, eventually we're going to get indictments to go with those checks. But you know what?
That's down the road.
Enjoy it while you can.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
The Oscar Mayer company has 6 Oscar Mayer Wienermobiles.
I wondered how many they actually have. So they're all out at the same time, or does one go out?
They can be deployed at the same time, but they're not always deployed at the same time. You know, in case there's a hot dog emergency somewhere, sometimes they keep 1 or 2 in reserve.
They send them out then if needed.
Mm-hmm. So the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile had a little run-in with the law.
Wisconsin sheriffs.
In Wisconsin, who pulls over the Wienermobile?
Who doesn't? Can you imagine if you're the police officer who got to pull over the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile?
It's the best day of your life.
Oh, yeah. Like you're getting an award.
It's the best day of your life. See, as far as I'm concerned, you know how, like police, fire trucks, first responders, you make way for them. They're the most important thing. And then just slightly above them is the Wienermobile.
Is this while it wasn't following the rules?
I mean, fire trucks pull over for the Wienermobile.
That's actually not how it's
actually
supposed to
not
go.
true.
It's
And
the opposite.
There's a little problem. The sheriff's department said that they pulled over the Wienermobile because it failed to move to the right to allow an emergency vehicle to pass it.
Another car was on the road with emergency lights. It did not give enough room to it, so they ended up giving a verbal warning, so I don't think they got ticketed.
Yeah, no ticket.
But that's what happened.
You know, the great thing about this is that, well, okay, you're at Oscar Mayer headquarters, and you have to have a discussion with the person who is deployed in Wienermobile 4. And you have to, decide what you're going to do about it. And I feel like if I was the one driving Wienermobile 4, I would be like, okay, look, first off, ridiculous. I pulled over, whatever. Second, my job is to get Oscar Mayer in the news in front of people.
And what happened?
We're everywhere today.
This is the news.
Hot dog sales will surge today.
I mean, first off, how are you supposed to be, can you notice things around you as well as if you were in a smaller car?
I'm sure you can't.
Can you notice if there's another car trying to get around, even if it has its emergency lights on?
Well, the other thing,
and I think it was a trap. What do they call that? It's not like a speed
honey trap?
Something like that, where they knew. They were just waiting for this thing to do something.
Hey, Lou, looks like we got a Wienermobile on the right there.
Just following it to
pulled over. Now,
to
let's
get it pulled over.
Tell them we can all make it disappear if, there's enough hot dogs in it for us.
Can you just pull into the police department?
Just pull on over here.
So that's what happened, but everybody's fine because they didn't get a ticket.
All right. Man, who would be hard? That's like ticketing Santa Claus on Christmas.
Because you would have gotten a ticket.
Well, we all would have, Nikki.
If that would have been you there and you were in your normal car, it would have been a ticket.
Oh, great. So now we have to worry about hot dog privilege. We need Oscar Mayer to own their hot dog privilege.
And take the ticket.
Okay.
Uncomfortable silences during that morning carpool? Not a problem. These two never shut up. It's the Riot on Radio U.
Do you need to buy yourself a Tesla and make it a tax write-off? We got a way to make it happen for you.
What can we do?
I'm looking at Ryan Trahan. Ryan decided to take a road trip from Austin to Chicago using Tesla's autopilot and documented the experience on YouTube.
So that becomes a work expense.
It does.
And your whole trip you can write off.
So 36 hours is how long it took, about 1,200 miles. I had to stop every 200 miles or so to recharge. Wow. Recharging after the 200 miles, 7 hours.
Whoa.
Is how long it would have to recharge.
Well, you go to sleep, you take it overnight.
Take a little nap, a little whatever. So he said that he felt like he was a passenger on the drive because he let it auto drive the entire time, or almost the entire time. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. That's a great idea, by the way. Though I don't know how I feel about him. That's got to just be a promo photo. It's him sleeping while the car's driving.
Yeah, I think they're just doing a photo for it.
Yeah, because
you're not supposed to do that.
You're not supposed to do that.
We've seen other people of taking pictures of just random people in traffic or just on the freeway, and yeah, maybe it looks like someone's been asleep, but you're not supposed to do that at all.
No, they want you.
That's dangerous.
Even when you've got the auto drive on, they want
you're
you
still
paying
attention.
Yeah, so
because mistakes happen.
They do. You've seen there was. It seems like there was one. Okay, I have to be careful here, but I think there was at least one high profile accident from somebody in auto drive.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
No, there's been several.
Yeah. Okay. But it's kind of impressive. I mean, Nikki, that's what you and I need to do. We need to do more stunting.
More long drives.
So think about it like this. What about a morning show team that goes and buys an electric Porsche? They're going to advertise it in the Super Bowl this year.
You're right.
And then we see how long it takes for us to drive across the country in that.
What was the new one called? It was
turn it on.
Tan. I kept thinking it was tan, but I might be wrong.
Starts with a T.
There's something like that, but it looks nice.
And it's got an on at the end. So
I'll drive in that one. But then I want to drive that car. I think that one would be more fun to actually drive it.
Well, Nikki, our stunt is different. We're not going to use auto drive. It's just to see how far we can.
We're going old school. We're actually going to drive the car.
Yeah, sure.
That's the fun part of a road trip.
We're going to find...
Your leg hurts. You're just doing anything.
Anything and everything to stay awake.
So you're just like, I'm going to still drive. You should be pulling over, though, taking a break.
Yeah.
That's what makes the trip long.
We should do it, Nikki. We should do it. You and me. Let's take a big road trip in the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
From our previous conversation.
It's just a thought.
It got pulled over in Wisconsin.
Can we manage to eat nothing but hot dogs on our cross-country journey?
Now that's a trip that you would do a stunt with.
It's perfect. All right. You know what? They're about to fire somebody. Let's see if we can get that job.
If you want to take control over that.
And we can still do the show.
I want to eat hot dogs the whole trip, though.
Hot dogs are good for you. We didn't say okay, we did say it's the only thing you could have. But you know what? They got a lot of variety. Plus, we can have some, maybe some brats in there.
Okay, well, that might make it better.
If you're looking for all the funny moments you missed during the riot, we apologize. You won't find them here. There weren't any. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Now, I promised you a sentence you never thought you would hear.
Let's just get it over with.
Let's just start with that. Doctors immediately recognized the larval sac of a pork tapeworm.
Yeah.
The larval sac of a pork tapeworm.
Shivers. Is this the video of the guy with the lip thing?
Oh, no, it's...
What is this thing, then?
You know, Nikki, you find yourself having headaches.
Yeah.
And you just keep getting headaches. And they just cannot figure out what's
wrong
causing
with
the
you?
headaches. Like, what is this? You have a headache that's so bad that sometimes you find yourself vomiting, which...
Stop it. Put the vomit away.
What?
Stop it.
What?
Okay. And what happened?
Well, this guy was having headaches.
Put your laptop down.
So bad.
Yeah.
That he was vomiting. Isn't that awful?
Mm-hmm.
So then he finally finds himself in a position where he goes to the Del Setton Medical Center. They do the scan of his brain, and they're just like, well, look there, a larval sac of a tapeworm.
So what is that?
Well, they think he might have had some undercooked pork.
Well, why is it in his brain?
And then, you know, it just gets up there.
It does?
You know,
I thought it'd be in the stomach.
That's what I thought
up there?
too. How did it get
up there?
brain?
Is he eating it through his nose? What's he doing?
I don't know exactly how it works.
Were they able to remove it?
All right, so they say the tapeworm, Taenia solium, often infects pigs. It lays their larvae in the pigs. And then if the pig isn't properly cooked, humans can wind up eating the larva, which then hatch in the intestines. And then it says if the worms don't make their way through, they'll also lay... eggs in the person.
Stop it. Stop telling us this.
These larvae develop in sacs or cysts that can travel around the body and sometimes find their ways into your brain.
So that's how it made it. So is he better? Like they were able to remove it, or how do they handle that?
They removed it. Mm-hmm. And you can see a picture of it if you want to.
I don't know.
But you don't want to.
I don't know.
And you know what? He's feeling a lot better.
It's educational. You got to learn. You want to make sure everything's cooked properly.
And this is going to be one of those great options that when you have a friend that's like, I just keep having these headaches, and you could just
Do not pass this to them.
You just be like, you know what?
No, that's the worst idea.
It could be the larval sac of a pork tapeworm. Have you thought about that?
Then you're making your friend really, really, really worry.
Yeah, I know. Let's ask Dr. Google. I have a headache.
It's the worst.
Could be the larval sac of a pork tapeworm.
Don't be that type of friend, all right?
You should be. You should.
Keep this one to yourselves. We're sorry that Obi shared it with you.
Keep feeding that to him. Here, and have some undercooked pork while you're at it. See, this just goes to show you really need to cook the bacon.
Annie,
cook it.
Annie, what's your thing here? She said we used to do lab testings on pigs for parasites, and let me tell you, every single one of those pigs was infested.
Yeah. It's a filthy animal.
Thanks for sharing this wonderful story with us, Obi. May we never forget it, and may we've learned something today.
You see, you know what I can tell? You haven't let it in yet.
I don't want to.
No, you've got your professional broadcast tone going,
because I haven't seen the pictures
yet. You haven't been willing to process the information yet.
I don't want to look because I get headaches and I don't want to look. And that's exactly why.
You're listening to a morning show hosted by two people who absolutely despise getting up in the morning.
Will you give me a break one time?
The Riot, Radio U.
Nikki, what are you watching where they make the $700,000 probably?
Oh, it was just some article about a guy who had a Rolex watch for one that could get him like $500,000 to $700,000. But when they first told him, he kind of like fell over. I think he was just playing, but that or he actually passed out, something like that. But
okay.
That's why.
It would be great. I want someone to pass me something of great value that I can sell and become very rich.
I don't think, we've said this before, our generation doesn't do that. We don't collect things. We get rid of things of value.
We collect crap.
But not of value.
Like not anything that's worth anything.
So you'd have to get something that had been passed down from family members or like your grandma, your grandpa, because that seems to be more the final generation of having collectible items that are worth something.
I feel like my dad could put his hand on my shoulder and look me in the eye and say, son, you come from a long line of people that buy crap.
Yes, pretty much.
And value crap over everything else.
Uh-huh.
Exhibit A, your movie collection.
Don't look at it.
Thanks, Dad.
You'll never get money out of it.
Thanks, Dad. You know, Nikki, speaking of movies, did you know that they're making a new Mortal Kombat movie?
Well, I thought I heard you mention that or we talked about it. There was talk on it last year.
Yeah.
Is there a trailer yet?
There is. But it's not the movie you think it is. I have a trailer here for the R-rated Mortal Kombat animated movie.
Really? That's what they were doing the whole time?
No. They've got a live-action movie that they're working on that you can be all but guaranteed will be PG-13 because they want to sell that to the masses. But this animated movie, yeah, it's rated R.
That's a cartoon?
Yeah, for strong violence.
Well, I mean, that is the Mortal Kombat world.
That is Mortal Kombat.
That's why it's got to be animated. Some of the stuff you see in the game, you just can't make that work.
It's terrifying.
It's terrible. I know that.
If you allowed yourself to take it at face value, it's terrifying.
See, when I watch it, or I do like Mortal Kombat, the game, it's horrible. It's terrible. It's not funny and all that. But sometimes it's so what's the word?
Over the top?
Yeah, so over the top that you just can't help but like, that's great. That's great.
Nikki and I have a bad habit of laughing very hard at insane violence. And I
don't know why.
Well, see, I just come back to you. People sometimes are like, you shouldn't be laughing at that. It's like, whoa. It's just a reaction to it. Like, it's not... Like, Nikki and I are not out there advocating Mortal Kombat level violence in day-to-day life.
It's like when you see someone throw up. You laugh at it. You can't, but someone could be in real pain, and that's just how you cope with it.
I mean, it's weird, but, like, I might actually have somebody throwing up, like, just right.
He's got the TikTok all ready anytime.
I haven't closed this tab.
In days.
Yeah, it's just there, and every once in a while, when I just need a little pick-me-up.
It's there. So Mortal Kombat Legend Scorpion's Revenge is the animated one. So
it's not going to come out in theaters. It's going to be just like all those other DC animated movies. It's
straight to Blu-ray.
Or, straight to on-demand services. I'm sure we could find you a Blu-ray if you wanted one.
Well, they put it first. I just saw the Blu-ray of it.
So when's it come out? And would you watch spring 2020? Like, would you watch an animated Mortal Kombat?
Maybe if it was a 99-cent rental. That feels about right.
Nobody's going to like what I'm about to say, but it's just sometimes honesty hurts a little bit, like a fatality, right? And that is, I don't really like Warner Brothers animated films.
You don't like the style?
I don't like the style. To me, and this is probably just a completely unfair characterization, I just feel that they look really cheap. They do.
It's a different style of it.
It is. It's a style. It's fine. It's just not for me. So I have a hard time sitting down watching the DC animated movies, which to me goes back to... I'm willing to watch anime in Japanese and subtitled. It's probably just as stupid. But because it's subtitled and it's in another language.
You think it's better.
I'm like, man, this is foreign cinema. We should be watching this in an art house theater.
Listen, it doesn't make sense.
No.
But that's coming in the spring.
Yeah, it is. In the meantime, how about some music and I'll just be here. Don't mind me.
This is the worst of the riot on Radio U.
The aliens that control the food supply, the lizard people, the shadow government, they've decided we're not fat enough.
So what do we get?
So they're fattening us up with a nationwide experiment. The chicken McGriddle.
But that's been around at certain locations. But this is now nationwide.
But it hasn't been at all locations all the time. So what they did was they had certain cities in which they introduced this to see if the population got fatter. They did. And
it was a success.
Knowing that it was successful, they're now going nationwide with increasing fatness.
Well, they were saying that actually chicken sandwiches are more popular than ever before. And that
Thanks,
goes
Popeyes.
Well, it goes not only with Popeyes, but what they called 2019 was like the chicken wars. So it was between Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, the Wendy's chicken sandwich. McDonald's came out with a different version of their chicken sandwich. And they say that people now want chicken sandwiches more than sometimes hamburgers.
War, Nikki. War is hell. There's no war worse than chicken.
It's not that type of war, but I see what you're doing.
No, you think it's not that kind of war.
It's not.
That's because the secret shadow government is keeping it from you.
Maybe at some of the Popeyes locations when it was the heyday of the chicken sandwich thing, it might have got a little close to that.
It got pretty intense over there,
It
Nikki.
did, but now I think most places are fine.
Yeah, so Nikki's right. They say that in 2019, we developed a larger appetite for chicken than ever.
So now we want it for our breakfast.
Now we need it for our breakfast.
Dude, a chicken McGriddle is amazing.
It actually is wonderful.
It's way better than the other one, the original one.
Delicious.
Because we've had it for years.
It is still not, honey chicken from Chick-fil-A good.
Oh, the honey biscuits?
The honey biscuits.
The little mini ones?
Man, just set me down. I don't need, they give you a little box with 6. I'm just like Chick-fil-A. What I need is a tray.
I want a party tray.
A party tray.
Of chicken things.
And that's just my breakfast.
Don't judge us.
It's not, it's going to take a while. I'm going to need you to keep saying my pleasure and bringing me refills of Diet Dr. Pepper.
And the chicken sandwiches. The little chicken biscuits.
So that's what we've got there. The chicken McGriddle, it's going nationwide. They say that McDonald's corporate, they're making it a nationwide thing, and then it will be up to your local franchise.
If they're following
to decide
through.
whether or not they want to continue to fatten you up with morning chicken. So you may be getting it long term, or you may be getting nothing.
It is so exciting when you get to go out and have fast food for breakfast, isn't it?
It's great.
It's the most exciting thing.
I love it.
We don't get it often here because we're actually usually up before most fast food places outside of McDonald's.
McDonald's is the only one that's open.
They're always there, but you don't always want that. But on the weekend, you're like, let's just go get breakfast.
McDonald's is once a week. Sometimes twice if it's it's a real bad week.
That's not a habit, though.
Yeah, no.
Not habit forming.
Hey, no, Nikki, that's the rule that keeps it from becoming a habit.
Once or twice a week is all you get.
Once is really the rule. The rule is if you have it more than once, what are you doing with your life? So I try to stay
in those guidelines?
Yeah. But boy, if those golden arches don't call every morning, they're like, if you come over here, I'll feed you.
Now they're clucking.
We have a value menu.
More chicken.
And now we have chicken McGriddles.
I'm just glad everybody gets it now.
Yeah. Now we all have to fight that temptation every single day.
Now they know.
The whining, the loathing, the insightful commentary on postmodern historical doctrine. Okay, maybe not the last one. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
One of the things that I appreciate about being Nikki's friend and working in here with her, and we've probably done this to each other, I don't know who started it, but when we read the news, we always We always build
What
a narrative.
do we always?
We always build a narrative that is not attached to the news at all. So
That's why we can't be news people. And I don't want the narrative to go out there. It doesn't mean everybody gets it.
We don't have to say all of it. But Nikki and I both, because I thought the same thing. Nikki and I both are thinking about, like, okay, there's the rescue plane bringing American citizens back from China. And we both are thinking, like, man, you know, you've waited your whole life for this trip. You finally get to go. You've taken 2 weeks off. It's the longest vacation you've had in forever. You get over there, and the next thing you know, you're quarantined. Then you got to fly back. You're stuck on a base for 2 weeks. You're quarantined there, and all you wanted to do was to see the wall.
You wanted. It was supposed to be your amazing trip.
You went like, you got that new job and you promised yourself something special, and you went and you were like, oh, look, I'm eating Chinese food, but it's really Chinese food. I'm on Instagram. I'm getting the sickness. Right?
Yes, you build the narrative. We do. We really put a person to it. It's just all wrong. You come back, your coworkers are all mad at you because you've been quarantined forever. Do you have a job when you come back? I don't know.
Your job wanted to fire you, but they can't. So instead, everyone's been doing your work for you, and they silently hate you, but they're kind of glad you're not dead,
but
whatever.
Because you can't go home? I would think that too.
This is...
All right, that's just what we do.
And the thing is, Nikki and I see those kinds of stories in every story. Like, that's what we see is like, we just
put we put a human face to it. All right. It's real.
But you notice, it's always the same face though, because it's like, it's always somebody that finally goes and does the thing and it's ruined.
Well, that's what I thought. Like, imagine you're so proud. You finally traveled. You finally did something. And then it's a terrible tragedy, and it just goes from there.
So aside from our take on the coronavirus, other things that I am seeing about it, and it's in every news story, like every angle. They say tourism is losing billions.
Mm-hmm. Aren't they supposed to just stop flights at this point?
The Lord of the Dance tour has been canceled. So Michael Flatley and those people that kick things, they were supposed to be all over China this week, and that's been canceled.
Mm-hmm. Those people that kick things is what you've brought their career to one statement. They're not actually kicking things. They just kick their feet.
Nikki, there's molecules in the air that
I'd be so offended if I was one of those kickers.
You'd be like, thank you for finally getting it.
This is what we do.
Thank you for getting it.
I mean, that's their tour.
This dance was actually our ancient martial art that we've been practicing. We're going to kick you now. See? And then also the iPhone SE2, which has not even been announced. They say will probably be delayed.
That was the smaller, less expensive one that they were supposed to start talking about into February. They said the production of it might be delayed.
Yeah, because of what's going on in China right now. So that's all the angles we got right now.
Thank you. This is why we try not to.
This is why Nikki and I don't talk about the news.
Actual news. We just can't handle it.
Because we're not mature enough to be in that position. Though it does bother me that we think Nick is the one that's going to be mature enough to handle the news for us. But, you know, we
Better
all,
than us.
We all play characters on the radio.
Proper planning prevents poor performance. Clearly, the riot didn't properly plan. This is the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Nikki, how much did you pay for your lamp?
For my what?
You know, like, I want to talk about lighting at your house because I don't feel like you have very good lighting. And if you're living in the dark, you're not seeing clearly, Nikki.
I actually don't like to turn the lights on too often, so I don't have a lot of lamps.
You know what you need?
What do I need?
It's not that you don't have a lot of lamps and you don't like the light. You've just had the wrong lamps and the wrong lights.
Do not tell me this is the Dyson thing, because if that's where we're going towards, I don't want it.
Yes, you do.
What's the Dyson lamp?
The Dyson lamp can mimic candlelight.
Oh, really? Well, now, wait a minute. I like candles.
Oh, gee, looky there, huh? Looky what we have there.
That's a soft light.
They call these, what do they call it? The light cycle. Okay, the light cycle morph. Stop it. Stop. Light cycles are from Tron. So I don't want you.
No one thinks that.
Yes, they do.
No one thinks that.
Yes.
Okay, I've seen this thing. They've been talking about this for quite a few years.
Yes, but it's like an upgraded version of what you've seen.
It's a task light.
And so it has 3 different axes, which allows it to rotate into multiple positions. It can emulate candlelight, but that's not all. It has like roughly 100 million billion settings, including you can tell it how old you are because they say depending on your age, depends on how much light you need.
Really?
They say that you need 4 times as much light in your 60s as you do in your teenage years.
Well, I didn't know this.
I don't know what that.
This
I'm
is
in
the
trouble.
new version of it?
I'm blasting 10,000 lux in my face every morning. I'm going to be.
That's your light box.
I know.
No,
I'm
you
just
need
saying.
that.
I got a
So is this
problem.
a new version of the old one that came out last year?
It must be. So check this. It's got preset modes: study, relax, boost, wake up. There are 20 different light settings that you can have. It also has a USB-C port and a motion sensor that will turn itself off when you're not using it. Also, it adjusts to changes in surrounding light.
Like, it sounds wonderful, but you're never going to want to pay for this thing.
Why not?
It's so expensive.
Well, Nikki, if you only have one lamp, it's the only lamp you'll need.
I cannot make that argument with this one because you'd be carrying this lamp around just so you get enough use out of it.
$650.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, and can we just be clear, though? That's the desk lamp version. If you want the floor lamp,
Well, that's bigger. How much is that?
$850.
Ooh.
But they say it's going to last for 60 years.
Well, I don't care, though, about that much. I'll sit in the dark.
Yeah, okay.
I'll be perfect. Or you can buy the previous model. That one goes about $500.
Yeah. So that's I mean, look at the savings.
I stopped buying a lot of Dyson products when they come out with things like this.
Don't you have a Dyson blow dryer?
I do.
Okay.
But I stopped after that.
That was the last one?
Yeah.
Got a Dyson vacuum?
Well, I have that. But
Couple of them?
That's for the house.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
Okay.
And I think that's all well, no, I have a Dyson fan, but that was a gift. So
I don't want a Dyson fan.
it's nice.
I need the fan to make noise.
Oh, you do? You don't want it quiet?
No.
Well, this one's the one you set next to you, so it's not like an overhead fan.
No,
You'd
I know.
have your overhead fan. You'd still have that one on.
I'm in a 2-fan situation at night. I have an overhead fan that's running all the time, and then I have a little fan that I paid, are you ready?
Yeah.
$10 for.
$10?
Yeah. Next to my, wait for it, $15 lamp.
Oh, that's too much.
Sound poor to me.
You sound poor on the radio.
Not paying you very good down there at the radio station, huh?
Well, they're not paying you Dyson well.
Well, shoot, man. But Nikki, that's it. That's your chance right there.
If I want to get the Dyson light,
You need it. You need it.
I don't think I want this.
Don't you want to feel candlelight? Don't you want to forget that $850 is a lifetime supply of candles?
Depending on where you're buying them, it's
Okay,
not
also
actually.
true.
Candles are very expensive.
Have you ever purchased a Dyson candle? They're $1,000 a piece. They smell like money.
But it's amazing. It's the best candle you'll ever have.
Lasts for 60 years.
I'm going to pass on this one for now, but thank you for letting us know that there's a new version of the Dyson lamp.
They're going to get you.
No, they're not.
Your time's
not on
coming.
this one. I
Yeah, they
actually think I can pass on this one.
You put it right next to your hot tub. Candlelight in the hot tub.
Yeah, just going to get a candle. Just going to start off with that.
But what happens when it splashes on the candle and puts it out?
Better than the splash on this expensive one.
Hey, so what do you think of Obadiah?
The truth is, he's not a very nice person.
Okay, well, what about Nikki?
The very best there is.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Nikki, think back on your childhood.
Yeah.
Maybe even all the way. I'll give you all the way to 18 because
Okay.
in the United States, you're considered a minor until you hit the age of 18. What do you think your major accomplishment was from,
Back then?
like between the ages of 1 and 17?
If I did what was expected, like if I went to school, that was a good accomplishment.
Graduating from high school is a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, outside of that, I worked here at Radio U before
Okay.
I was 18.
Okay. Did you create any films?
No, I never got into that.
All right. Well, I've got here the tale of, I believe, 2 brothers who have been working on, the McGriddle brothers, who have been working on a little project since, for a big chunk of their teenage years. They've been recreating Toy Story 3.
Oh, in real life?
It's actually called Toy Story 3 IRL, and they have remade Toy Story 3 completely in stop motion.
That's fantastic.
It's incredible. So if you watch it,
Wow.
what's really interesting to me is that they gave, like, they got the permission of Pixar to post this.
They did?
So it has all of the audio
from actually Toy Story 3.
Yeah. And they've made it all in, man, stop motion. Do you know how hard stop motion is to do? It takes forever. Enough that when I read about it, I'm like, oh, I could never do that.
It sounds exhausting. Like, I just wouldn't take that project on.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I would sit here and watch this entire thing, but daggone,
I'm really
it's
surprised
impressive.
Pixar gave them permission.
First off, Toy Story 3 is old. That's one. And two,
you just struck them at the right time.
Yeah, and nobody's gonna I can kind of see this. I can see them giving them the thumbs up. So the entire thing is available on YouTube, and it's free.
Gosh, it's fascinating they did this. It's really quite a work of art.
See, for me, I would have just been like, this is a great idea. We recreated 15 seconds of Toy Story 3.
The first weekend, and then you're done with it. But the fact that they spent years and years and years, the complete Toy Story 3 in live action, stop animation.
8 years.
Hey, that's impressive. It's really cool to look at it.
The only thing I can think when I look at it is this is absolutely going to be an amazing, like, that's the best resume ever.
Well, this is how you get a job at Pixar. This isn't even like how you get into school, like if you want to. No, you don't need, you can bypass that completely.
Yeah. Sometimes they actually, I know that I have a tendency to stick my nose up at honorary degrees, but sometimes they issue degrees based on merit. So, like, you could literally say, like, hey, I deserve a degree based on blank. This seems to me like they deserve a job.
Pretty close.
Just on merit.
Absolutely.
Seems like they know what they're doing.
So you can find it on YouTube for Toy Story 3, but live. It's the live version.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
If you're like me, you have stacks and stacks of video games and to play, movies to watch, but you're always looking for the next thing to spend your money on. Mm-hmm. And so, the next thing.
What do we got?
It's a new game. Well, I had heard about it, but I forgot that it was out this week. It's called Journey to the Savage Planet. It looks kind of funny. It's really bright and colorful. They say that it involves a lot of exploration, which I'm finding more and more I really like. And then it involves a lot of shooting as it goes on. And
I mean, that's a perfect combination.
I found out that I kind of like both of those things.
It really is strangely colorful.
Isn't it colorful?
Yeah. I don't do too much gameplay, but I expect it to be more muted colors. And then you're getting like these oranges and these greens that don't quite match up with the rest of the landscape on it.
They're very bright.
Huh. That's neat. Some interesting characters, too.
I think it looks really cool. Like, I'm interested in playing it. Yeah. I don't know that what I'm trying to do, you guys know, last year I kind of started this up where it's like I'm trying not to buy something till I'm done with what I already have. And I'm in the middle of like 3 or 4 things. And so it's like, no, you can't have any more. No more. It's like, yeah, but I could stream it. No, you can't. But I want it. No.
Nope, not at all.
Nope.
Well, what can we do to get you into this?
Give me an expense account.
No.
See, all right.
There's nothing we could do with that.
So then I guess that's it. I
think if you put this on the list, so then in the future when it goes on sale, then this would be one of the perfect ones to try.
Absolutely. I do think it looks fantastic. But I really have been doing that. Again, this game's out now. It's out on PlayStation 4, PC, and Xbox. It looks like a lot of fun. It's called Journey to the Savage Planet. But the thing that I have been trying to do is I've got an enormous back catalog. I'm never going to finish it all, ever. That's
you just
never
can't get
happen.
through them.
But I have been trying to, like, I had some games that I started that I really liked, but I just never finished. So I've been going back to them and playing them, finding out that I still really like them, and I'm still enjoying them, and just doing that. It's one of the hardest things you'll ever do. But first off, that was an exaggeration. Second, but I'll just tell you this right now. If you can break up with the video game press, quote unquote, all the people that are always reporting on the newest, the this, the that, telling you what to like, what to buy, whatever. If you can separate yourself from that, you'll find that you have plenty to play and there's lots of fun to be had.
Yeah.
However, just saying this out loud makes me want to run out and buy something and say, no.
Just give yourself some patience and wait and then get through the stuff that you have first.
It's only $30, though. That's not expensive.
Well, now you're
10% off.
You're saying that right now, but then you're going to do that with other games, too.
I know. I know. Manny just texted, wants to know if I finished Borderlands. I finished Borderlands 3, but I never finished 2. I started playing 2 again.
What you need to do is kind of say your Netflix queue or anything where you have a collection of things you want to get through. You just have to start clearing it out. If you're not going to get it, if you're not going to play the game, just get rid of it.
That's a good call.
That way it's not hanging over you, and then you can move on to a game you want to play.
The sad part is I did that. I started deleting games where you're not going to play it. Just delete it and pretend.
And you still have plenty?
Carl says he never finished Fallout 4. Me either, but I didn't like it very much. There, I said it. Okay?
So you've moved on past that one.
I did. I deleted it, and I'm done with it.
You're all done with it.
So I've got a couple of things installed right now. I'm playing those. Now, the only other thing that's really getting in the way, Nikki, of this whole thing is that I just keep having a lot of things to do, like family obligations, friend obligations, work obligations. I'm just going to tell you right now, those are really getting in the way. Okay? If I could eliminate some of those,
then you'd be better.
Could really get focused on these video game playing, movie watching days that I should obviously be having.
What was the game called again? The colorful one?
Journey to the Savage Planet.
It looks pretty good.
It does look good. And we need to get Bee Simulator. It's out now.
It came out.
It's out.
The Riot. Not everyone's a fan.
I wonder whose idea this was.
Radio U.
Nikki.
Yeah.
Picard is a rating success.
What does that mean?
It means
on a streaming service.
That's what.
Not like on network television. What sort of numbers does a success mean to CBS All Access?
We don't know.
I need actual numbers.
Nope. Can't do that.
Picard, they already issued a second season for it before the first one even aired.
Yep.
But aren't you guys so curious, even for Netflix stuff or Amazon, what does it actually mean? Like, how many people are tuning in and watching it?
Here, we have no numbers, but let me tell you what they say.
Mm-hmm.
CBS says that January is a record month for subscriber signups. It's a record number of total streams.
Yeah.
It's the highest volume of subscribers streaming a CBS All Access original series to date, a.k.a. by percentage.
Yeah.
It is the most watched show that they've ever had there on CBS All Access.
So for Picard, it is only available on CBS All Access, which is a North American, United States thing.
Yeah.
It's on Amazon Prime everywhere else.
Right.
So that's not even worldwide numbers. It would just be here.
Yeah.
Just want a number.
They're not giving it to you.
Tell me a number. Quit lying to us. Is it actually successful?
Do
they count is it 100,000? Is it 1 million? What is it?
Is it 5 people?
Yeah. And you're one of them?
We've never had 5 people signed up at once.
And I'm just dying to know.
We want you to know that 2 out of 5 people streamed Picard. It's amazing.
Well, there's a reason why they don't tell us the numbers, because I think in our global worldview of numbers that we usually see, it'd probably be a weird, disappointingly low number.
Maybe not. What if it's huge?
Well, then they would be telling you.
What if they were 85 million people streamed Picard last Thursday?
Then CBS would be telling you.
You know what, Nikki? I don't think so. They're being humble.
Yeah, right.
That's what they are. They're just you know what? We don't want to brag. It's not our place to brag. We shouldn't brag.
They're not doing it for the numbers. They're doing it for the art, for the show.
Nikki,
for the
this
fans.
whole thing is about art. Mm-hmm. It is. Think of all the artists, the artisans that get their hands involved in what's going on there. You know?
All right. So Picard, if you watched it, you're a part of record numbers.
Wait, hang on. When you watched it.
When you watched it?
You were a part of record numbers for CBS All Access.
Well, you joined CBS All Access just to watch it, but you're not planning on staying around.
No, though.
What is it?
No. The thing that bugs me is that it's 10 episodes, so that means they drag you across
2 months.
3 months.
Oh, 3 months, yeah.
In order to get it all. I should have done with Star Trek Discovery, the first season, this was really kind of sad when you think about it, but they had the free month. So I waited till it was over, signed up for a free month, watched the whole thing, and then canceled.
Yeah, you should have waited till the end of Picard
and
then just put it all in one.
I couldn't wait. I had to know.
Because again, you needed to be a part of the record numbers.
Nikki, there have been record signups. You know what?
You're one of them.
There could be as many as 5 of us. that have signed up.
For CBS All Access.
That's incredible.
How many do they even have?
Incredible. We might be at 6 by the time this is over.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because RadioU exists, and RadioU only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
Sound poor to me.